Saturday, your brother will be in San Francisco. San Francisco. All right. Who want to do the work, who really want to be in the street, off of social media, doing the work. If you are not about doing the work, then that's okay. That is okay. But this Saturday, San Francisco, your brother will be there. Spread the word. Let everybody know. I will post up a flyer tomorrow. There are a number of fights that I have been involved in. Okay. Vaccines is one of them. Bringing the Bloods and the Crips together and calling police accountability has been another. Human rights violations have been another. Police brutality and the murdering of us by the police has been another. Drug abuse, drug addiction, the prison industrial system, and of course probation and getting people out of that system, that's been another. I've been doing this for a very long time. Here's another area that I've been exposing and fighting against for a very long time. This is the abuses in the mental health industry. In particularly, we're dealing with psychiatrists who prescribe drugs, legal drugs, and put people on legal drugs. Okay. This area is very specific because this has a lot to do with slavery. It has a lot to do with what's going on today. It has a lot to do with all of us as black people, original people. As of right now, the American Psychiatric Association, the APA, they are having their convention in San Francisco. The American Psychiatric Association is pushing and has been doing something called ECT. Now, some of you have heard of what ECT is. It stands for electroconvulsive therapy. ECT is also known as electric shock. Okay. Electric shock, something that you've seen in movies that you probably thought didn't exist anymore. Something that they were practicing in Nazi Germany, something that they practiced with the CIA and FBI torture tactics. Okay. They are pushing and have been giving electroshock to pregnant women and children. Now, I know some of you are like, Rizza, how in the hell do you even get involved in these kind of fights? See, anybody who's really in the street doing the work, you run into what is affecting the people because you are right there with the people. This area has been one that I have personally been fighting against for at least the last 12 years. The abuses in the mental health industry. But what am I saying? Okay. An estimated half of the United States population is on some form of medication. At least 100 million children between the ages of 0 to 5 are on some form of psychotropic drug. This is Ritalin, this is Adderall, this is Thorazine. Pardon me, Thorazine is no longer in existence the way that they used to do it, but it's Ritalin, Adderall, Zyprexa, Wellbutrin, Zymbalta, Rexulti, you name them. You can name them and name them and name them. Valium, Xanax, all of these are classed on the Drug Enforcement Agency's list as a Schedule II narcotic. These drugs that are legally forced onto the people are classed on the Drug Enforcement Agency's list as a Schedule II narcotic, which is the same as crystal meth and methamphetamine. Crystal meth and methamphetamine. Ritalin is the same as cocaine. These drugs are being pushed on to the people, and they've been on them for quite some time. Some of you know people who have been committed to a psychiatric facility. Some of you know people who have been forced onto these drugs. Some of you know people who are on them currently. Some of you know people who have been put into a psychiatric facility against their will. Some of you know someone who has been committed against their will to what's called a 72-hour hold. Okay, but on this extreme of it, as I said, they are performing electroshock on pregnant women and children. And Rizza, what is their reasoning behind this? What is it that they're saying is the reason why they are literally putting electrodes, 2 thick bars, they're like plexi, plastic, but with metal, one on this side, one on this side, and sending over 250 volts of electricity through a pregnant woman's brain. Why are they doing this? Oh, well, the American Psychiatric Association says that Certain women, when they're pregnant, they're going through depression. Depression is an emotion. It is not a chemical imbalance. It's an emotion. But they say the woman is going through depression, so therefore we need to handle her depression. Okay, so they electrocute her. And you ask them, why are you performing this on pregnant women? Pregnant women. And they say, because the baby, and trust me when I say, you're going to be like, Rizza, you can't be serious. I want you to look this up for your damn self. They are electroshocking pregnant women because they say the baby in your belly has prenatal bipolar disorder. I want to let that sink in for a second. I've been fighting against this for years. I've fought alongside of former congressmen and congresswomen. Congresswoman Donzella James over in Atlanta. Former Congressman Dan Burton. I'm going to post a picture of all of us when we were speaking on a panel. After we had marched against this, went up to CNN, went all over the place to bring awareness to this so that this can stop. There are so many things going on as it pertains to violating the rights of the people, as it pertains to attacking the people, black people, brown people, but killing us in large numbers and enslaving us in large numbers, and you don't even know about it. And that's because you are getting stuck on this social media stuff, and they're throwing all of the distractions in your face while they do all this evil back here. There is so much evil being conducted against the people. You have no idea. No idea. And I'm only saying this so that you can understand, those of us who are legitimately involved in this work and have been doing this work, there's a reason why we don't go back and forth arguing with people on social media, because y'all niggas who just got on social media, you're social media people. Some of us been doing this work before YouTube even existed, before Instagram, before Facebook. All this work that I've been doing is before social media even existed. Social media is new. So these fights, these things that have been occurring, that have been coming against black women, black men, Mexican women, Mexican men, and of course all members of the human family after that, these fights are what I personally, I'll just speak for myself, personally have been fighting against for about the last 18 to 20 years, depending on which one it is. So this is one that I've been fighting against and exposing heavily for a very long time. And if you know anybody who's on a psychotropic drug, most of y'all know you got a family member, you got a cousin, you have an uncle, mother or father who was either committed to a psych ward, who was either put on some form of psychiatric medication because they have depression, or they say that they were bipolar, or because they say that they had social anxiety, or because of whatever other label that they created. And I say created, by the way. And this is an area, again, I've been fighting. I'm very well educated in that area of mental health. The DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Diseases, all of this, the American Psychiatric Association, the whole history of psychiatry, the present of the mental health field, as well as the past, everything you can imagine. I'm thoroughly well versed in it. I've debated these psychiatrists. I've debated some of the directors, some of the top people. This is an area next to vaccines that you need to know about, because this is another thing that's horrific. So my point in saying that is, I will be there. San Francisco, this Saturday. On the way there, I believe we are stopping in San Jose.